Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. I will come into you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, with another lesson. And I want to say Tawada, and all praises, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I was in a major situation for almost a year. I say 8 months or so. And hey, man, all I can say is today I'm very happy. I'll say today I'm very happy because now I'm able to have a computer that I can actually use to make these lessons. And it just made it so much easier since I got this computer, and this is my second lesson for the day, and I want to say Tawadi Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that I can now make these lessons more frequently to feed the sheep of Yahweh Shai, and yeah, I'm very grateful for that, and and along with other things, you know. See, so now right here, this lesson I want to do, right? This lesson here is going to be entitled something along the lines of Esau is losing the information war. He wants somebody to blame, but he's losing the information war. Okay? He wants someone to blame, but he's losing the information war. Now, this is a debate that's being had with a person that is pretty much against MAGA, right? Or against the MAGA talking points. And he's basically making all of these, the ones that I've seen come up so far, he made all of them look stupid. Okay, I remember the elder Orchoya Kwam did a lesson on this, and I watched his lesson. And now I'm coming across this video, and he made this woman's talking point look completely stupid. And this is the basic talking point of all these right-wing Trump D-riders. And they're just as stupid and zombified as the left wing are, if not even more. Okay? And they're the top level hypocrites and liars. They will dismiss all information that's against them. Any information that makes them look bad, they'll dismiss and ignore. That's why they're against critical race theory, when really it's just critical race historical facts. Shout out to the elder Malcolm. And, you know, they'll create their own version of history that makes them look better, which is nothing but lies and deception. So I'm going to read this. And speaking of the elder Malcolm, this is one of his, favorite scriptures to bring out. And I'm going to start Deuteronomy 33 and verse 28. It says, Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. This is what's getting ready to happen to our people. The curses are just temporary. The blessings that we're reading about here is going to be eternal. And that's what's coming. It says, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, a people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. So Esau is being found a liar. Okay? He is being found to be untruthful. He's being found to be a hypocrite. And you know the scriptures say that the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Okay? So let's take a look at this in Esau's lies and hypocrisy and him being broken down.
Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born
14th
here.
Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It
so
says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized Americans
I'm aware
in
of
this
that.
country.
Yes, but
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also, the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which
Positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields. It
Looking
fires
for a
us.
job in construction
I am
or
not,
agriculture?
no. I went
Just
to
joking.
college.
Okay. Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay, is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can
I'm an
see
immigrant
here,
and an American, and I employ
Sure.
many
And
American citizens, both naturalized and the ones born here.
and
I employ
my
Americans.
parents. No, my parents came
Americans as defined by you.
My parents came as immigrants to become naturalized, so I'm not necessarily
Oh.
opposed to immigrants.
So you're the child of immigrants.
Correct. I'm a child of immigrants. I was
But
born
you don't
here.
accept that immigrants are Americans.
Not at this moment.
So your
because-
parents are not Americans?
Not at this moment.
So hold
no,
on, your parents are
they're
not Americans?
citizens. They became naturalized.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah,
opposed
you're born
to
here, right?
naturalization.
What
of
they're
myself.
hold on, let me stop this real quick. What they're opposed to is non so-called white immigrants. As long as you're a so-called white person, because by her own admission, she's an immigrant. She's of the of immigrant parents. Okay, but the thing is that they want they're against brown immigrants, immigrants that don't look like them. That's what they're against. Okay, and they want to blame them for anything that they could try to find, which is just an excuse, and usually it's nothing but lies. Okay, while they ignore the wickedness that their people do. Okay, that's what they do. Okay, so she's a parent. She's not even an immigrant. Let's say the fourth generation American. She's a first generation American. And she's arguing like she's been here since the colonies, or like her family has been here since the colonies were here. It's a damn joke. They're a bunch of goddamn hypocrites. Let me read this real quick. It says this is Psalms 58:1. It says, "Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." So Esau, it's not about, oh, we got to show them the right way. And I just listened to Dr. Claude Anderson, which is a very intelligent Jake, right? He came up with, he spoke a lot about economics and black economics before, they integrated and things like that. He's very good for those type of things. But he was just speaking and saying, oh, we got to figure out how to show, tell these white people how to help blacks and, the whites in power and the elected black officials to show them that the blacks need help. And they know exactly what you need help in. Esau studies statistics. He's very good at studying statistics and data. He knows why you're in the situation that you're in, and he understands how you can be taken out of that situation. But they don't want that. The scriptures tell you clearly that they only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They want to make sure that you Jakes stay on a low level, and they've showed you that. I don't know how much more you got to see to show you that Esau wants you at that low level, and they like it. They like the gangster rap music. They like the perpetual thug culture that's pushed amongst you Jakes, because that can allow them to further continue to blame you. They want to keep being able to point the finger somewhere. See, because Esau can't take accountability. Esau and the woman, especially Eve, are very similar. Okay, they're very similar. They're very, very similar in every way. Okay, And one of the ways that they're similar is that they will not take accountability. They will point the blame. Okay? Now, every accusation from these devils, or most of the accusations from these devils, is nothing more than an admission of guilt. Most accusation from these devils is an admission of guilt. Good. Now, it says, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. That's the words they speak, the lies they speak, because it actually poisons the minds of the people. It says they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. They don't want to hear the truth. Even if you show them the truth, they will ignore it. They will block you out. They do not want to hear the truth. When it makes them look bad, they don't even want to hear it. Meaning they don't even want to change. You understand what I'm saying to you? Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O Most High. So we're calling upon the Heavenly Father through his son Yahushua to break their teeth, which is their power. That's how they're going to be taken out, through the Heavenly Father. In their mouth, break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh. That's how the Esau is going to be taken out. And he's wishing that he could further his rulership, but that's not going to happen. Okay? So this guy's doing a great job breaking the hypocrisy of these clowns down. Okay? Like I told you, the right wing is even more zombified. They're either as zombified or more zombified than the left. And the left is completely bugged out of their mind. But the thing with these right wing, they try to pretend themselves to be Christians and righteous. That's the disgusting part about them. These right wing Edomites. These devils don't care about. These devils don't have morality, man. The philosophy of a damn devil, a Edomite, a low, despicable nation is this. They say that what? The means justifies the ends. They don't have morals. That's why they're justifying their forefathers' wickedness. Let's continue.
You just said you can't be citizens by being naturalized.
No, I was born here, and I'm not
Yeah, you're
opposed
born
to
here, right?
naturalization. I
But
never
are your
said that I'm
parents-
against naturalization.
Are you against naturalization?
No, I never said I was against
You did.
naturalization.
You began. Everyone who's here. They can play it back on YouTube. You said Americans or immigrants. Are your parents Americans or immigrants?
No, my parents are United States citizens.
But they're immigrants. You said.
No, they came here as immigrants. However, but
So they
I
are
want to make the
immigrants.
claim
You
that
said,
we cannot
I came
even,
here as an immigrant. I'm
but
an immigrant.
at this point, when they came, the
I think
United
that
States
people aren't happy
economy,
with the way this is going for you.
the United States economy was not at
The reason the
immigrants
economy is doing badly now is
that
because
we
Donald
can- that
Trump's
we're giving
tariff
it to loans.
policy.
We can't
Nothing
even
to do
get
with
businesses.
migrants. In fact, the
We can't
congressional.
even start businesses.
I'm an immigrant. I started a business. In
No,
fact,
I
in
understand
fact,
because the SBA
immigrants
is
are-
giving people
immigrants-
billions
I didn't
of
take any
loans.
loans
They're giving
from
them
SBA.
billions.
I didn't take any loans
I'm not
from
saying you
SBA.
did, but I'm
Okay, well,
saying
I'm
that
saying I did.
statistically speaking, they're giving billions of
So
loans
should we
to
do
these
statistics?
people. Aware of
Right?
that.
Immigrants
But
are
we
more
also-
likely to pay in taxes than
Yeah.
take out in benefits.
And
They're more likely to add to innovation and jobs and wages. This is what the statistics show. The Congressional
I
Budget Office.
understand how
Let
you
me just
Yeah,
finish
you
my point and then I
understand.
can
You
come
don't
back in.
understand
The
anything.
Congressional
You're a
Budget
damn
Office, which
devil.
is bipartisan. Republicans and Democrats both use it. They have said that the immigration surge that you mentioned will lead to an extra $9 trillion of GDP over the next 10 years. That amounts to $65,000 per American household. That's $65,000 for each and every one of you holding up a red flag.
Okay, I
All
understand
right,
that, but
pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your
Nice
seat.
to meet you.
Yeah. So you clearly see that she got washed in that debate. She got washed and dismantled in that debate. And from what I've seen, well, you had one Edomite psychopath, and you could clearly see that devil that came up in the Elder Require Qualms video. He was a complete psychopath, okay? And I'm telling you, man, you could tell that when that time comes to put people to death, he's just gonna put people to death. He's gonna have no problem putting brown folks to death. He has no, that dude. See, something about, you got to learn how to read spirits, man. The way that dude came up, he was all fidgety and like he was smoking crack because he was angry at the fact he was being exposed. It's very dangerous when you start exposing Esau and he starts losing the information war. You know, he's capable of anything. He is capable of anything. All right? Because he's of Satan. Okay? This is 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed," that's the Edomites, "whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So his power comes from the left hand. Our power comes from the right hand, which is through Yahweh Shai. Okay? So he's not going to come with truth. Yahweh Shai represents truth. Satan represents lies and deception. And with all deceivableness, and he'll do anything to deceive. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and he's completely unrighteous by nature. Okay? In them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And don't think that if you could show these Edomites the light, that they'll get it. They don't want to see the light. Let me get that. The shadow is what's that? The morning is as the shadow of death to them. They don't like the light. You have to understand that. The light to them is the enemy. The truth to them is an enemy. Okay? They'll only use the truth as far as it doesn't affect them. So they use that very limitedly. Okay? And they never use it fully, because if you fully examine things, it leads back to them. This is Job 24:17. It says, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. You understand that? The morning to them, to the Edomites, is even as the shadow of death. Okay? Man, let me read that from 16. It says, in the dark they dig through houses, which they have marked for themselves in the daytime. Yeah, there's secret meetings. They know not the light. They don't want to know the light. They're not interested in the light. So, we got to try to show them that we being oppressed. They don't give a F if you're oppressed or not, man. They like it that way. It says, for the morning is to them even as the shadow of death. See, when she's being exposed, to her and the rest of the people around, that's like the shadow of death to them. The light that's being shined on their bullshit. If one know them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. All right? So Esau, don't think Esau wants, if you just show them the right way, they'll be able to see it. They don't want to see it. All right? So Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.